Cryptocurrency and non-fungible tokens are currently the biggest driving factors of the tech-driven decentralized future we keep talking about. While metaverse platforms and Web3 applications evolve into the next big buzzword for the tech world after 5G, the idea of social media as we know it is in question. Today, I intend to take you through a bit about the concept of decentralized social networks, or what is believed to be the next step for social media, and the way people are likely to interact with each other in the years to come. I'm Cyrus and welcome to this week's episode of Crypto Unfiltered, where I dive into the happenings of the crypto world through the week, along with a breakdown of certain keywords that's been driving conversation in the crypto space. So let's begin. Now, decentralized social networks are different from the popular ones we're used to, as they operate on independently run servers rather than one centralized server owned by a single entity. जैसा कि Facebook, Instagram और यहाँ तक कि ट्विटर के सर्वर्स उनके प्लेटफॉर्म्स कंट्रोल करते हैं, और जो भी कंटेंट आप पोस्ट करना चाहते हैं आपको उनके प्लेटफॉर्म पर ही करना पड़ता है। डिसेंट्रलाइज्ड सोशल नेटवर्क्स इसका एक बिल्कुल ऑपोजिट कॉन्सेप्ट है। Mastodon, for example, the micro-blogging platform that began as an alternative to Twitter, is a decentralized social network. It is based on open source software and functions a lot like Twitter. Another example is Steam, which runs on a social blockchain. Blockchain technology allows data entries to be stored in servers anywhere in the world. It fosters transparency, as the data can be viewed in near real time by anyone on a network. Decentralized social networks essentially give users more control and autonomy. An individual can set up their social network and determine how it operates and what users can say about them, instead of having content monitored by a single corporation. Decentralized social networks make up a collection of interconnected servers known as a Fediverse, used for social networking and other activities such as blogging and web publishing. Now, in case you're wondering, an independently hosted federated network can interact with other networks too. Decentralized social networks और मशहूर सोशल मीडिया प्लेटफॉर्म्स जैसे कि फेसबुक और ट्विटर के बीच में यही एक फर्क है। एक उदाहरण के लिए, जैसे ट्विटर यूजर्स उस प्लेटफॉर्म पर बाकी ट्विटर यूजर्स को ही मैसेज कर सकते हैं, और उन्हें ट्विटर से फेसबुक यूजर्स को मैसेज करने का ऑप्शन नहीं मिलता, क्योंकि इन दोनों प्लेटफॉर्म्स के बीच जो क्रॉस प्लेटफॉर्म अलाइनमेंट है वो मौजूद नहीं है। उसी के विपरीत फेडरेटेड नेटवर्क्स अपने यूजर्स को क्रॉस प्लेटफॉर्म मैसेज करने का एक विकल्प देते हैं। Emails offer another example of how federated social networks work. Take, for example, Google and Yahoo. Each company sets email rules for its users. Google does not impose regulations on Yahoo users, yet Google users can send emails to and receive emails from Yahoo users and vice versa. Federated networks work similarly.
While the idea of a decentralized social media ecosystem has been around for a while now, why do you think it hasn't particularly caught the eye of blockchain project backers in a big way?
Decentralized social media is an amazing concept. As a user, my data would be my property, and other people like centralized companies won't be able to use it. But the reason that it has not yet picked up is simple economics. In this world today of social media, you have large entities like Facebook and Google who make money from your data, and that's why they can give you these services for free. But in a decentralized world of social media, you and I as users will probably have to pay this cost of storing and handling our data. So that's the reason I think it's not really picked up so much yet. But with Twitter's planned Blue Sky, where they're building an open source standard for decentralized social media, I think the game is going to change.
This week began on a strange note after Prime Minister Narendra Modi's Twitter handle was briefly hacked and a tweet claiming that India has officially adopted Bitcoin as a legal tender was put out from it. The Prime Minister's office later said that the account was immediately secured after the matter was escalated to Twitter. In the US, meanwhile, Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla and SpaceX, was named Time Magazine's Person of the Year. During an interview with the publication, Crypto Enthusiast said that meme-based Dogecoin is a much better option than Bitcoin for everyday payments. He later tweeted to announce that Tesla will be accepting Doge payments, sending Doge fans into a frenzy on Twitter. As more and more companies begin their foray into the metaverse, global chipmaker Intel said that the firm is working on software that will help laptops tap into computing power from other devices, including chips from its rivals. While the definition of metaverse is broad, it generally refers to immersive virtual worlds that will be accessed via the internet and a variety of devices like a virtual reality headset. The trend is expected to require vastly more computing power, and firms like Nvidia, which makes chips and software used to construct the virtual world, and Qualcomm, which makes chips used in virtual reality headsets, have both gained value in recent months on investor enthusiasm about the metaverse. Sportswear giant Nike, meanwhile, confirmed that it had bought virtual sneaker company RTFKT for an undisclosed sum as the sportswear giant looks to quickly expand its footprint in the fast-growing metaverse. While the metaverse is quickly catching up with mainstream companies, NFT is quite still the rage. Melania Trump has launched her non-fungible token and blockchain technology venture, joining a growing list of celebrities offering digital memorabilia to tap into their recent frenzy around such assets. She joins the likes of Wikipedia founder Jimmy Wales and retired all-rounder of the Indian cricket team Yuvraj Singh, who also announced their first auction of limited NFTs.
Bitcoin extended losses, deepening its December decline, with the world's most popular and largest cryptocurrency by market capitalization trading 4% lower at $47,868, down by 2.4% over the past week. Ether saw a similar showing, shedding 4.6% to trade at $3,820, down by 5.4% over the past week. The week between Christmas and New Year is sometimes slow for the market, leading to severe volatility, and that seems to see a repeat this week. Elsewhere, Dogecoin prices also slipped around 5% to $0.14, where Shiba Inu also plunged 6% on the day. Despite the drop, it's been a healthy week for the two most popular meme coins, gaining 2.4% and 6.3% in value respectively over the past week. Volatility is something all cryptocurrency investors need to get used to, as there isn't a fundamental reason for the decline in prices lately, like a market failure or a hack. This also means there could be a quick bounce on the horizon.
Time to look at how major tokens are performing, because as an investor you need to keep an eye out on how major tokens are performing right now.
If we look at our crypto tracker for the week, we can see that Bitcoin is down by 1.53%, while Ethereum has also slumped and is down by 2.31%. Tether is up by 0.61%, while Cardano is struggling with a 4.97% drop. Bad news for Shiba Inu investors, as the coin dropped by a whopping 99.96% in the last 24 hours.
Crypto's future in India is yet to be decided, as regulation policies are said to be in place soon. Be sure to catch all our future episodes to stay updated about what the future of crypto is going to be in India. That's it for Crypto Unfiltered for this week. If you have any questions around cryptocurrency or any jargon that you don't understand, please do send them across to us on our Facebook or Twitter pages, and we'll have an expert answer them for you. This is Cyrus signing off with a promise that I will be back with more crypto very soon.